Tom Pandolfi here from Shoestring to Success. I just wanted to take some time to introduce myself to you. This is one of the earlier videos I'm doing, and this is going to be part of a series that on YouTube where I put out all the tools, the software, the products that I use. It's going to be in a playlist where anything that you see or anything you ask Tom, why'd you do that? Where did you get that product? Where did this product come? What product are you using? I'm going to throw that on YouTube. It's going to be part of the series. So this is the first in the products, software, and tools that I used to start to create Shoestring to Success. Now, I'm creating Shoestring to Success on a shoestring. And being that I'm creating the website on a shoestring, I got to start out with a lot of utilities, tools, and platforms that either are free to use or have a minimum cost. And starting Shoestring to Success, the first thing that I see is the most important thing in starting something when you start to lay out the framework for what your footprint is going to look like on the internet is your email. And the email is the most important thing. So the first thing I did when I sat down and started to think out and execute the plan to lay out the framework for Shoestring for Success was with the email account. So I went to Gmail, I created an account there, and that's just going to be the email that I use until I build the website and I have my main email, which is going to be tom@shoestringtosuccess.com. So until that website comes up, I'm going to be using this email to do anything to set up for social media, set up a YouTube account, things like that. So the next thing I did was go to MailChimp because they have a free option. It's limited in some of their services, but it can start and put me in a place where I can build an email list, which to me is one of the most important things, whether you're doing something online or you're starting a business just out there in the world as a brick and mortar. You need to build an email so you have a place to communicate with people that you build a relationship with, so you can find out their problems, and you can send them solutions. And when it comes time to where you want to sell something, you got that list. Now, if you utilize YouTube or Instagram and Facebook and all these other platforms that are out there, you don't own that. That could go in a day. But if you create an email list, that's yours. Nobody can take that away from you. So that's one of the main reasons I started with the email address and an email list. By far, without no doubt in my mind, that's the place to start. Now, the next tools and software that I needed when I was building Shoestring to Success is a place to keep organized. So I turned to WorkFlowy. Now, some people use Evernote, some people use different types of note-taking software, but for me, WorkFlowy allows you to put things out in a bullet point manner, almost like a task list. And when you complete that task, if you don't want to look at it no more, you just put task complete and it hides. It's great. So now you got a place to dump all your ideas. You got a place to dump all the information that you have. And all you got to do is open up WorkFlowy and start a bullet point list, and then tab down and add to it. So then you could have first steps to build the website. What do I need for a website? Hosting. Am I going to go through, and discuss out the framework of how you're going to do something. So WorkFlowy is something I use on a daily basis just to keep me organized, and I'll have a category there, content ideas. I'll have a category there of break that down into, is it going to be a video? Is it going to be a blog post? Is it going to be, maybe something I'll do on a podcast? So later on, I'll do another video how I actually use WorkFlowy, but that was the third thing I did in starting to build a framework of what's going to be Shoestring to Success. Now, the next thing, without a doubt, I went to Grammarly. I started with the plan where you don't have to pay, and I was getting a lot of benefits from it because you got those late nights. You don't want to have a blog post or post someplace on social media where grammar mistakes are or spelling mistakes are. Some people might look down on you and be like, wow, what's this guy talking about? He can't even like use the English language right. And as far as my wordsmithing skills, they need to be a little polished, and Grammarly just helps that. And they also have a plagiarism feature where if I write something, it'll do a little check on that. And again, it's something later on I'll do a more in-depth video, but that was the fourth tool I set up in laying out the framework for Shoestring to success. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is find a spot where I was going to focus on to start to develop some relationships. So I went into Facebook. I set up an account. I put up a page for Shoestring Success page, and I set up the Shoestring to Success community, which it's not going to be getting a lot of traffic right now, but at least my regular page I can start to use, and I can start to go in a group, and I can build those relationships. I can open up conversations. And he is one of the main groups that I really enjoy, Content Creators. If you get a chance, check them out. They have good discussions and everything. And it's a group where I can go into and I build relationships. Now I can go into different groups. I have a couple of different groups that, like, I'll go into the SPI group with that Pat Flynn has. I find that a nice place to meet people. But you know how Facebook works and everything. So I basically figured, this was a spot where I could start to build and look for places where I can grow relationships and have conversations and find out if somebody needs help, I can try and help them. So I knew social media was in there. I don't want to lay it all out now, which social media platforms I'm going to use, but Facebook was the next thing. Now, at this point, I have my email. It's all set up. I'm ready to start communication there. I have the place in the tools that I keep organized with WorkFlowy and Grammarly. Those are the next pieces I put into the puzzle. Then I got my social media, and now I started developing some content and putting it out there. Where am I going to put it? The first place I figured was YouTube. So I created the Shoestring to Success YouTube channel, and if you ever drop by, hit that red button and subscribe for me. It would be a big help, and I'd really enjoy it, and we can start a conversation in between each other. And I figured the video and the audio would be a good place to start. YouTube has its own search engine. It's the second biggest search database there is next to Google, and Google owns them, so it was a no-brainer to put it there. I figured it would be easier to have traction with some SEO through YouTube on my content than it would be just on the website or put it together a podcast. So as far as content, and the first place where I'm going to start to deliver it, it's going to be on YouTube. So that's the fifth thing I set up. And then after that, I'm thinking about, what am I going to do for the website? This is a little website that I just started. I started laying it out. There's not a lot there, and I'm still going to design it and see how it falls out and where it develops to. But I started a little spot for a blog, and I'm going to start a Start Here journey page and just add to it. But I don't want to add too much into the platform, into the website, only because I'm not sure. Do I want to go with something like a Squarespace where, I might not have too much control over it, but there's a lot of good features. If I do a podcast, I can put it on there and then host it out. It has its benefits, but to me, it's got a lot of cons. So, it's something to look at, but I think I could go a little bit beyond it. And then you can go into the WordPress area. But now, if I go into WordPress, I come up with the second part of it where at the point when I'm really starting to develop my website, after I batch a bunch of content for where I got like a month or two of time to really dedicate to ramping up the development of the website, do I go to like a Divi builder? Now, Divi's great, but it's almost like it's an own entity. It's in its own container. So if I do move outside and go to another page builder, like say Elementor or Beaver Builder, and still go with the WordPress, I'm locked into Divi. So I got a lot to think about on how I'm gonna lay out the website and what tools and everything I'm gonna use. So that's where I'm at right now. It just shows you. I just wanted to take this video and put it out there that I'm going to start putting out more videos on tools and products and services that I start to bring into the mix to help me with Shoestring to success, to communicate with people, to get my message out there. And like I said, just to recap, I started with the email address. I went to the email service provider for setting up an email list. And then I got my two things that keep me organized and polished. I started the social media, and then I have found a place where I'm going to have content. The next thing I'm going to concentrate on is where I'm going to build the website. And then after I get all that nailed down and start to fine tune all that, I think I'm going to head over to Anchor and use that as a place to where I can start dabbling into how I want to have a podcast, because I know a podcast is something I really want to incorporate with Shoestring Success and have it be part of the way that I distribute content and communicate with people. So I'm going to start on Anchor, do a little podcast, get it out there, and then I'm going to use Anchor to develop a main podcast that I'm going to put out. And then later on, I'll look for podcast hostings and everything else that I'm going to need when I start and develop a more solid podcast and a solid plan on how I'm going to set that up. So basically, I just wanted to take some time, introduce myself to you. I'm Tom Pandolfi, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to help people align their lives with success, and showing you how I'm developing and how I'm designing Shoestring to Success. And I'm going to create shoestringtosuccess.com and build the website and show you the tools that I'm using. So, maybe you want to try and do something like this. You can look at the tools and say, hey, wow, that's not that hard. So between me making videos on putting it out there on what tools, software, and platforms I'm using, you're also going to see the whole journey from the beginning to end. So until next time, I'm Tom Pandolfi. I'm here to help you align your life with success, and I'm hoping to see you around all the content. I got emails in the description, and you can contact me. I'll put all the social media where you can get me, and stop by, DM me, chat with me, stop by Content Creators, and join in on a conversation. Great stopping by. I'm glad you took the time. And hey, please subscribe. It would be great. This way, I start to build a little rapport with everybody. And leave a comment on the video. Tell me how I'm doing. What do I need to take out? What do you like about the videos? What don't you like about the video? Is there any information that you would like that I could pass on to you? Bye for now, and I'll see you next time. And don't ever forget, everything you do, make sure you align your life with success.